You are only one decision away from a completely different reality, wise people say. These are those who have gained their experience from the bad decisions they have made. Life is about making choices, and nature is about progress. Nature makes no distinction between good and bad. It is only interested in development. And even stagnation is a kind of movement, because what moves is the consciousness of experience. There are thousands of books on how to best use the process of decision-making. And if you have been having trouble deciding lately, stay with us until the end of the video. We will give you clarity on how to synchronize with your biological clock, explain different biorhythms, and show you how successful people stay successful. Maybe something will speak to you and you'll wake up tomorrow knowing exactly what you want to do. Subscribe to our channel and do not forget to like, share, and comment on the video. We love hearing your thoughts. To cut to the chase, yes, timing is everything. There are better and less desirable times of day to make decisions, and there are more and less conducive states of mind, body, and spirit to think about things. Learn how to work in harmony with your body and its natural clock to find optimal solutions and achieve the best results for your future. In other words, tune in to your inner biorhythm. There is a branch of biology that deals exclusively with the relationship between time and the body called chronobiology, the science of proper timing. It studies biological rhythms and the influence of time on biological events and internal biological clocks. Chronobiology has traced the process of proper timing back to our DNA, where it has found genes responsible for controlling our daily, monthly, yearly, and solar activities. These genes are called clock genes. Clock genes are involved in generating the circadian rhythm, 24-hour cycle, and the biological clock is synchronized with the solar day by direct exposure to light. The master biological clock controls the daily rhythm, or diurnal rhythm, of core body temperature, the rest-activity cycle, physiological and behavioral functions, psychomotor functions, and human mood. It is well known that circadian rhythm disturbances can lead to mood disorders, such as unipolar and bipolar depression and seasonal depression. Sound a little like a mechanism for poor decision-making? Good to know you can get back on track in no time with light therapy and chronotherapy. At the same time, your body maintains its biological rhythms through a variety of chemicals at the molecular level, in response to your environment. As mentioned earlier, your exposure to light, as well as your eating habits and other environmental factors such as the quality of air and water, can maintain or disrupt your biological rhythms, leaving you vulnerable to all kinds of physical and mental problems that affect your ability to orient, think, and interact with your environment in clear and useful ways. We want to see how biological rhythms work to better understand how we can use them to our advantage. Your internal clock is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, and is located in the hypothalamus, the part of your brain that controls your autonomic nervous system and pituitary gland. In other words, your SCN sends signals throughout the day to regulate your body's activity. There are 5 biological rhythms, and each has a name associated with its length cycle. They are 1. The diurnal rhythm, which refers to the alternation of day and night. 2. The circadian rhythm, which is responsible for the 24-hour cycle. 3. The ultradian rhythm, which controls the processes that last less than 24 hours. 4. The infradian or circalunar rhythm, which regulates the monthly processes in the body. And finally, 5. The circular rhythm, which oversees the annual cycles. They are all interconnected and important to our well-being. If any one of them has a slight dysfunction, our physical, psychological, and spiritual well-being is disturbed. Let us take a closer look at the circadian rhythm, our behavioral regulator in the 24-hour cycle, to understand what's going on. A circadian pattern is called a chronotype, that is, your time type. Chronotypes influence a variety of behaviors, from getting up in the morning to when one is more likely to engage in unethical behavior and cheating. Some scientists believe that different chronotypes evolved as an evolutionary trait in hunter-gatherers, whose survival depended on being alert and always on the lookout for danger in the environment, so they took turns sleeping, thus embedding different sleeping habits in our DNA. However, if you do not sleep and wake up according to your circadian rhythm, it's only a matter of time before you will suffer from insomnia, daytime fatigue, decreased productivity, adverse metabolic changes, and mood disorders. Too little sleep triggers cravings for high-calorie foods to compensate for energy, while simultaneously decreasing physical activity due to constant fatigue. In addition, circadian rhythm disturbances lead to cognitive and behavioral problems such as decreased concentration, alertness, attention, motor skills, and memory. These symptoms can subsequently lead to workplace errors, decreased efficiency, and accidents, especially car accidents. So when is the best time to go to sleep? That depends on your chronotype. There are two primary chronotypes: the morning type, popularly called the morning bird, and the night type, also called the night owl. Chronotype does not determine the total time of sleep from the perspective of the body's needs. However, in a socially conditioned environment or a time-conditioned society, the morning type is better adapted to typical work and school hours that begin at 8 a.m. Night owls can and will be awake at this time if needed, but are unable to focus and be productive and creative until later in the day. Conversely, morning birds become quieter and less productive toward the end of the day. A study published in the journal Psychological Science showed that morning birds tend to behave more ethically in the morning, while night owls align their moral compass in the evening. A new question was raised. How is time related to decision-making, which requires perfect interaction of all cognitive faculties, alertness, attention, memory, and creativity? A group of Argentine psychologists became interested in this and conducted a unique study analyzing online chess games to better understand the relationship between the time of day and successful chess moves that represent good decisions. Chess was chosen because it provides an easy-to-track dataset, a standardized scoring system, and the ability to analyze each decision, aka move, using standardized criteria. Thanks to the huge online database of time-stamped chess games, the researchers were able to compare decision variations across the day and determine how different times of day affect decision quality. At the start of the study, they assumed that the time of day players had more success was related to their chronotype, but what they found changed the way they look at the decision-making process. The chess data came from the free Internet Chess Server, FICS, with more than 400,000 registered users, who all have a standardized playing strength, which is updated after each game. The samples studied consisted only of players with at least 2,000 games played. 100 of them were asked to indicate their time zone and age, and to fill out a morningness-eveningness questionnaire, MEQ, that determines chronotype. Participants also completed a brief questionnaire on their daily sleep routines, eating habits, and wake-up times. The control group was 14 computers who regularly play FICS, as computers don't have a chronotype or biological clock to influence their decisions. Using an open-source chess engine called Stockfish, the researchers were able to calculate a quality score for each move of the participants' game. The results showed that chess playing activity followed the player's chronotype. Morning birds players were more likely to play in the morning, while night owls were more likely to play in the evening. However, chronotype had no significant effect on game outcome. Regardless of the player's chronotype, the researchers tracked a consistent pattern in decision quality and time of day. They wrote, "We found that players changed their decision-making policy throughout the day. Players decide faster and less accurately as the day progresses, reaching a plateau early in the afternoon. This effect was observed for all players regardless of their chronotype, indicating that changes in decision time are mainly determined by the time of day." The data showed that players used slightly different decision-making strategies depending on the time of day. The researchers concluded, in the morning, players play more slowly and accurately, as if they were playing against higher-ranked opponents, while in the evening, they adopt a riskier strategy in which decisions are made more quickly but less accurately. Thanks to this unique research, we have the answer to our burning question of what makes successful people stay successful. It is what your mother and grandmother told you over and over again. Go to sleep. Get a good night's sleep. The next morning, or whenever you wake up, you will think about it. You cannot make good decisions when you are tired. You need concentration and alertness. Sleep is as important to your well-being as the food you eat, the air you breathe, and the water you drink. For this reason, business people conduct all important meetings in the morning and postpone lighter tasks until the evening. This is why people go to the theater in the evening. Another important aspect is finding information about the problem you are dealing with and expanding your awareness, because how you think about your situation is how you approach solving it. So you want to change your thinking horizon. The best course of action when choosing between several options is to gather as much information as possible. Sleep on it, gather your thoughts in the morning, and if you still have doubts, repeat the process. The most important thing is to trust the process. That is, to trust both the inner biological rhythm and the physical needs, because they belong together like nail and finger. We hope you have dusted off the decision-making process a bit and that you know what to do the next time you are in doubt. Sleep on it. Gather information. Sleep on it. Study. Sleep. The best approach will come naturally if you just trust the process. Like our video and leave your comments. Do not forget to share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more stories and strategies that will uplift your spirit and expand your horizons.